The Champions League is back again. We have reached the second leg in the quarterfinal matches, and in today's video I'm going to be predicting the results for every single match. Obviously we all saw the first leg games and there were some crazy results and some very unexpected scorelines. So in today's video I think there's going to be some more crazy upsets and some more crazy predictions. As always, in today's video I'm going to be predicting the results for every single game in the second match day. And obviously if you enjoyed this video and you agree with my predictions, remember to leave a comment down below. But if you disagree with my predictions and you think there may be a few upsets here and there, remember to leave your predictions down below and I'll be sure to reply to every single comment. So without further ado, let's get right into these predictions. Starting off with the first match on Tuesday, we have Aston Villa against PSG. In my opinion, Aston Villa have been having a very strange season because in the Premier League, we've seen some games where they really don't look up to the standard, but throughout the Champions League, in the league phase, and so far in the knockout stages, Aston Villa have been very good and they've been one of the best teams in this competition. But in their first leg game against PSG, they did not play good at all. They were completely outrun. PSG had 75% of the ball. They had almost 30 total shots, with 10 of those shots being on target. Aston Villa did not play good at all. Obviously PSG did have the home advantage in this game, but never mind the advantage. This just shows you how good of a team PSG are. They were absolutely incredible, and we saw some fantastic goals from Mendes, Kvaratskhelia, and Desiree Doué. Three incredible goals from three incredible players that have been playing very well for PSG since the start of 2025. In my opinion, it's been amazing to see how PSG have completely flipped this season around, where at the start of the season, they weren't doing particularly good in the Liga, and in the Champions League, they were performing very under par. But so far in the last few months, they have completely transformed this team. They're playing so good. The chemistry between these players, between the attackers, is something that you rarely see. And in my opinion, they are definitely favorites to win this whole competition. At the moment, the only team I see possibly stopping PSG is Barcelona. But other than that, I think PSG, in terms of their defense, their midfield, their attack, and even their goalkeeper, they have some of the best players per position in the world. And in this game, even though Aston Villa have the home advantage, I just don't think they can do enough to get over that 2-goal deficit on aggregate. I think PSG are much too strong, and for that reason, I'm going to predict a 2-1 PSG win. Moving on to the next match, we have Borussia Dortmund against Barcelona. I think that Borussia Dortmund have been very similar to Aston Villa in the sense that in their domestic league, in the Bundesliga, they haven't been doing that well, and currently they sit around mid-table. But in the Champions League, they have been playing much better, and especially if we look at them in the league phase, they were actually doing surprisingly well. Now obviously this isn't new to Borussia Dortmund, as even last year in the Champions League they were very well. They made it to the Champions League final, and yes, even though they didn't play great in that final match, they still made it very far. And this season they have been doing very good. But in that first leg against Barcelona were just too good, and we've seen it so many times with Barcelona that their attack is just too good for the other team. They have too much pace, they have too much chemistry, the dribbling, the passing is just coerced so well by Barcelona and their manager. And yes, Borussia Dortmund could have scored a goal, maybe even 2 goals, but they didn't take their chances as well as Barcelona did, and that's why they finished with a 4-0 win. Now, the first leg wasn't all bad from Borussia Dortmund, and in the second half, they did play much better than they did in the first half. They were more dominant on the ball, they had much more shots, but even though Borussia Dortmund may have played better in the second half, Barcelona still scored 3 goals in that second half because they took their chances wisely and they scored from most of their big chances. Now in this match, obviously it is being played at Signal Iduna Park, and I think that Dortmund will perform much better. Obviously having lost 4-0 in that first leg, they would have learned from their mistakes, and obviously they would learn more on how Barcelona play, how their defense works, and I think Dortmund could possibly catch Barcelona out on the counterattack multiple times in this game, and with the home advantage, obviously they will be playing much better. But 4-0 is way too much for Borussia Dortmund to come back from. Honestly, I think there is 0% chance that Borussia Dortmund will advance. Now, I do think Dortmund could possibly get a result, but in my opinion, I think Barcelona are just too good, and even if they don't start all their best players, I think they will still win this game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I'm going to predict a 3-2 win for Barcelona. Moving on to the next match, we have Inter against Bayern Munich. In the first leg predictions, I predicted that Inter Milan were going to get a result, and a lot of people called me out on that because Bayern Munich are a very strong team. They have a very good attack and more well-known players than that of Inter Milan. But Bayern Munich have had a lot of injuries recently to defenders, to midfielders, and for that reason, Inter Milan, even though it was being played in Germany, they definitely had the advantage, and obviously they did use that to their advantage, winning the game 2-1. Amazing goals from both Lautaro Martinez and Davide Fratesi, who in my opinion is a very underrated player. But one player in that first leg match that was absolutely incredible is Barella, and in my opinion, throughout the whole Champions League, he has been one of the best midfielders in this competition. He is so good at picking out passes, at moving the ball from the defense to the attack, starting counterattacks. He is such a vital player for Inter Milan, and in my opinion, mainly because of him, they will win this game again. If Inter were able to play that good away, they were able to win the game against Bayern Munich. Even though Bayern may get back some of their injured players, I think there is no chance for them to advance. I think Inter Milan playing at home is a very strong team. The atmosphere is absolutely crazy. And for that reason, I'm going to predict Inter Milan will win this game 1-0 and advance to the semifinals. And finally, the last game we got is Real Madrid against Arsenal. No one expected that Arsenal were going to win in the first leg 3-0 against Real Madrid. I don't think anyone expected that. Me personally, I predicted that Real Madrid were going to win 2-1. Now, obviously, we all saw what Declan Rice did, which in my opinion is one of the craziest things I've ever seen in football. 2 free kicks back to back in the same game, and they were some of the nicest free kicks I've ever seen. It's hard to explain how nice they were. The bend on that first free kick and the top bins that was the second free kick. I don't think it could have been any more top bins. It just skimmed the post. It was 2 incredible goals, and it was an amazing night for both Arsenal and Declan Rice. But will Real Madrid come back in this game, which we've seen them do so many times against English teams? We've seen this time and time again against Manchester City, where Man City had the advantage, they were up on aggregate, and Real Madrid pulled out the impossible, scoring late goals and advancing to the next round. In my opinion, it is possible and it could happen, but I think Arsenal defensively have been very good this season, and if they let 3 goals in from Real Madrid without scoring a goal, that would be very bad. I think that Arsenal will advance to the semifinals, and in the off chance that Real Madrid do end up winning this game and they do end up advancing, then they're 100% winning it again. If Real Madrid advance over Arsenal, they will win the Champions League 100%. But I don't think Real Madrid are going to be able to do it. In that first leg, they just didn't show me enough offensively. Obviously, Camavinga ended up getting that stupid second yellow card, and they just completely lost their heads. And in this game, yes, I do think with the home advantage, Real Madrid will win this game, but in my opinion, Arsenal will still advance. So I'm going to predict Real Madrid to win this game 2-0, but Arsenal on aggregate will advance to the semifinals. And that is the end of this video. Those were my Champions League predictions for the second leg games in the quarterfinal matches. If you guys agree with my predictions, remember to leave a like on this video and leave a comment down below. But if you disagree with my predictions, you think there may be a few more upsets here and there, you think maybe Real Madrid will be able to beat Arsenal and advance to the next round, remember to leave your predictions down below and I'll be sure to reply to every single comment. And obviously, if you did enjoy this video, remember to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and stay tuned for more videos.